In the 21st century, wildlife is facing some very serious challenges. But the Wildlife Trust have come up with a way of meeting these challenges, and we call it living landscapes. And as the name suggests, it's conservation on a landscape scale. So how does it work? Well, we use the core areas, some of which we've already got, places like our nature reserves and other spots that we've identified that are high in biodiversity. And then we're going to join them all together. But not by using narrow corridors like hedgerows or streams, but by using much broader corridors, things like whole river valleys. The upshot of this will be that this landscape will be far more sustainable because the wildlife will be able to move from each of the core areas to another one. Now, within Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, the Trust have come up with no less than 30 living landscape projects. In this film, we're going to look at 4.
Kingfishers are sensitive birds whose population is a real cause for concern. But the Trust has an opportunity to buy a crucial habitat for this spectacular bird. If we can establish Sandown Meadows as a Wildlife Trust nature reserve, we can make sure it remains an ideal habitat for kingfishers as well as other important species. This area is key to creating a living landscape in the eastern Yah Valley. An area of the New Forest stretching from our Roydon Woods Nature Reserve to the sea at Lymington is home to an important population of nightjars. The nightjar, an endearing nocturnal bird, is now one of the UK's most threatened species. One of its remaining strongholds is in the heathlands of the New Forest, and the Wildlife Trust needs to carry out work to protect important habitats. But we need your help to create suitable nesting areas for our threatened nightjars. In the north of Hampshire, the Wildlife Trust is working towards reversing the past declines of a bird of European importance, the woodlark. In Britain, the core populations of woodlark are restricted to just 5 areas, and the Eversley Heaths are within one of these. We hope to create ideal woodlark habitat on the heathland by clearing scrub and reintroducing grazing. This work will allow the woodlark to enjoy ideal nesting conditions. It's hard to believe, but the lapwing is now listed as one of our most threatened bird species. These splendid crested birds, also known as peewits, were once familiar in our English countryside. But since 1960, their number has dropped by a staggering 80% across England and Wales. Lapwings thrive in unimproved pastures and closely cropped wetland areas, so the living landscape that the Wildlife Trust aims to recreate at Winchester will help halt their decline. We will establish an ideal habitat for lapwing as well as other treasured species, including southern blue damselfly.
It's all very well having a big idea. To put that big idea into practice, we need support. Frankly, folks, we need your support. So please think about making a donation.